Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, dear guests. I talk about importance of failure. I could start telling you about famous people that failed a lot before success, such as Michael Jordan. According to him, he set more than 90,000 shots in his career, almost 300 games. He failed over and over, and due to this, his success. Or J.K. Rowling. She had her Harry Potter books rejected for 12 major publishers until she found a small one that published her books, and she became one of the most important, famous writer in the world. However, I will tell you a simple history. I have been failed more times than I would like to admit. And I'm talking about a kind of failures that rocks our world, change our actions. Who else is with me? Who else can relate this feeling to defeat? Thank you. In my first semester of university, I didn't achieve the grade necessary to pass in the program logic. It was the first time that I repeat a class in my life. In next semester, in another class, data structuring, I got a 0 in the first test. Again, first time in my life. My ego never faced something like this. I always got high grades. I felt stupid. I wanted to give up. I talked with my teacher. I remember that he, with patience, sit with me, redid the test, asked me the same questions, inducted me to thinking logically, and I was able to answer all questions properly. In the end, I was surprised with myself, and I was asking to my teacher, "Is just it?" And he said, "Yes, just it." And light bubble turned on me. Finally, I was able to understand the coding using a different approach. 10 years later, I was working high performance on my developer software career. When my manager moved me for a new position where I couldn't code anymore. In this new position, I needed to learn fast business financing markets, and I spent 6 months failing on this task. However, this time I remember my experience in the university. I felt stupid again, but I found the resilience enough to be persistent in my new journey until conquer a high performance again. Around 1 year ago, I started teaching people, no technical people, Python coding and how to extract financing sites with that. And I have been receiving great congratulations on this. And I realized doing the research for this speech that I can do it now, not because or not only because I know both matter, but because I developed empathy enough to help people that can maybe have the same difficulty that I had in the past. Fail as me. I want to say that fail is glamorous. No, it's painful. Can devastate dreams and motivation. However, it's part of life, right? We can't just avoid it, but for sure, we can look for the values of gain failures can bring in our lives, such as maturity, resilience, compassion, empathy, creativity to find a new solution, new approach. I would like you, as manager, teacher, father, mother, friend, don't criticize people close to you when they defeat. Instead of it, help them to be strong, to learn the lessons and move forward. And you, when you feel like giving up some important thing, use this sentiment as a stepstone to achieve your success. Thank you very much for your attention.
No, I really liked your speech, Claudine. Also because I could relate a lot with some things that went wrong with my life, but also because of this book that I talk about. I'm just reading it right now. It's from Scott Adams. It's How to Fail at almost everything, and still win big. You know this book?
I read a lot about Scott Adams.
Yeah, and it's really, really interesting. And one thing that is very interesting, he talks about the things that are more important in our lives. One of the things that he says is one of the most important skills in his life was public speaking. Public speaking, business writing, some a sort of design thinking that you don't have to be a specialist. That's the main point that he makes in his book. You don't have to be a specialist. If you are good in a lot of different skills, it's a more powerful thing than you become a master at something. And one story that we can really bring for us here, he tells us, is from a girl. He's in Dale Carnegie course of public speaking. He's a competitor of Toastmasters, but Toastmasters is better. He meets a girl. She's really trembling. She's sweating. Her forehead is sweating a lot. And then she goes up to the stage and she starts to tremble a lot, really shake. And she wasn't able to say words. She just say, my name is, she just said her name, her age, and stopped it there. And everybody felt bad because of her. You know, the sensation that you feel, oh my God, what happened to her, this empathy we have. But what most surprised him, that stayed with him throughout all his life, was his teacher response. He said, "Oh God, you are brave." He said, "Okay, you are brave." And the same thing we do here. We recognize the bravery in each one of us here. So let's go to the third speaker of the night, Francisco, please. I don't know exactly what's the title of your speech. Is PPT.